So yesterday we have discussed about the magnetic moment that is shown by the D block elements. So we know that in periodic table among S, P and D block elements, the D block elements will show magnetic moment. So we have discussed about the different types of magnetic moments. In that, first one is the diamagnetic moment or diamagnetism. Next one is the paramagnetism. So what is mean by diamagnetism and paramagnetism means generally every substance or every atom will behave as a small magnet. Okay, every atom will behave as a small magnet. That means here we have discussed about the two orbital motions. No, first one is the orbital motion, second one is the spin motion. So first one is the orbital motion and second one is the spin motion. What is orbital motion, ma? So already this is the yesterday's class. I am again repeating. So some people which are not attending the yesterday class, no. So what is orbital motion means? So we know that electron revolve around the nucleus and electron revolve itself on its own axis. So when electron revolve around the nucleus, that is called as orbital motion, and when electron revolve itself, that is called as spin motion. So any spinning particle or any spinning small particles will behave as a magnet, or it produces a magnetic moment. Spinning is nothing but rotation. Okay, when small particles while spinning, they produce magnetic moment. So here we can see the two types of magnetic moments. First one is the orbital magnetic moments. This is produced due to the rotation of electron towards around the nucleus. Another one is the rotation of electron on its own axis that will produce the spin magnetic moment. Now we have two magnetic moments. First one is the orbital magnetic moment, second one is the spin magnetic moment. So when the resultant of these two magnetic moments to produce resultant magnetic moment. Okay, orbital magnetic moment and spin magnetic moments, they couple and they add one by one and produce resultant magnetic moment. This resultant magnetic moment is denoted by the J, and orbital magnetic is denoted with the L, and spin magnetic moment is denoted with the S. Okay, these are the magnetic moments. So now we can said that every atom or every tiny particles produces some magnetic moment. Every atom behave as a small magnet. Every atom behave as a small magnet. So when this substance or when this atom in placed in a external magnetic field. Okay, when the substance placed in a external magnetic field. So what is external magnetic field? When we place a magnet in a external field, what happens? Some force of attractions present in a limit, a certain limit. So that is called as external magnetic field. So when a substance is placed in external magnetic field, what happened ma here? Some substances are repelled by the external magnetic field. Some substances are repelled by the external magnetic field. Those substances are called as diamagnetic substances. That means diamagnetism means what? The substances which are repelled by the external magnetic field are called as diamagnetic substances. And some substances, when we are placed in external magnetic field, they are attracted by the external magnetic field. So those are called as paramagnetic substances. Okay, now we have two types of substances. First one is the diamagnetic, second one is the paramagnetic. What is mean by diamagnetic means when we place in external magnetic field, the magnetic moment which is produced from this substance is repelled by the external magnetic field. So that is diamagnetic substance. In the second case, what happened? When we place a substance in external magnetic field, it is attracted by the external magnetic field. So which are attracted, that are called as paramagnetic substances. Okay, so and the process is called as paramagnetism. Apart from these two, we have some more magnetic moments. First one is a ferromagnetic moment, ferromagnetism or ferromagnetic substance. What is mean by ferromagnetic substance means here para means what ma? They are attracted by the external magnetic field. No, so ferro means these are also attracted by the external magnetic field, but they are, when compared to the para, they are attracted very strongly. They are attracted very strongly by the external magnetic field. Okay, understand the difference between the para and ferroma. In para is also attracted by the external magnetic field. Ferro is also attracting by the external magnetic field only. But what is the difference means these are strongly attracted by the external magnetic field. So that is a ferromagnetic substances. Okay, next one is a antiferromagnetic substances. Antiferromagnetic substances. Antiferro means they are less. These are also attracted. So only diamagnetic substances are repelling. When we place in a external magnetic field, only diamagnetic substances are repelling by the external magnetic field. Remaining all the substances are attracted by the external magnetic field only. But where is the difference means the difference in the capacity or tendency of attraction. If they strongly attracted, those are called as ferromagnetic substances. If they less attracted by the external magnetic field, these are also attracted, but these are less attraction, less tendency to attract the in the external magnetic field are called as the anti ferromagnetic substances. Okay, these are about the magnetic substances. Next, there is some temperature that is called as Neal's temperature. Neal's temperature. What is mean by Neal's temperature? Means when we convert, that means the temperature required to convert ferromagnetic substances into paramagnetic substances are called as, it is called as Neal's temperature. That means we want some temperature, or we want to convert ferromagnetic substances into paramagnetic substances, that is strong attracted substances into normal moderately attracted substances. What we have to do, ma, we have to heat the ferromagnetic substances. So heating is nothing but we are applying some temperature, so that temperature is called as Neal's temperature. Okay, understand? The temperature which is required to convert ferromagnetic substance into paramagnetic substance is called as Neal's temperature. అర్థమవుతుందా? మనకు మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ సబ్స్టెన్సెస్ ని 4 టైప్స్ గా చూసుకుంటే డయామాగ్నెటిక్, పారామాగ్నెటిక్, ఫెర్రోమాగ్నెటిక్, యాంటీ ఫెర్రోమాగ్నెటిక్. సో ఇందులో డయా అంటేనేమో ఎక్స్టర్నల్ మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫీల్డ్ తో రిపెల్ అవుతుంది, అంటే వికర్షించబడుతుంది. పారా అంటే ఎక్స్టర్నల్ మ్యాగ్నెటిక్, అంటే బాహ్య అయస్కాంత క్షేత్రంలో ఆకర్షించుకోబడుతుంది. ఫెర్రో మ్యాగ్నెటిజం మీన్స్ దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్సో అట్రాక్టెడ్, ఇది కూడా ఆకర్షించుకోబడుతుంది. కానీ డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటి అని అంటే పారా కంటే ఎక్కువ ఎక్స్ట్రాగా అట్రాక్ట్ అయితే వాటిని ఫెర్రో మ్యాగ్నెటిజం అంటున్నాం. అయితే ఇప్పుడు ఈ ఫెర్రో మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ సబ్స్టెన్సెస్ని మనము పారామాగ్నెటిక్ సబ్స్టెన్సెస్గా చేంజ్ చేయాలి అని అంటే వీ హ్యావ్ టు అప్లై ద టెంపరేచర్, కొంత ఉష్ణాన్ని ఇవ్వాల్సి ఉంటుంది. దట్ టెంపరేచర్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ నీల్స్ టెంపరేచర్. Okay, next comes to the antiferro. Antiferro means what, ma? Antiferro means these are less strongly, these are also attracted by the external magnetic field only, but less strongly attracted. That means we can say first ferro vastundi, strongly attracted, tarvata para vastundi, next comes to the antiferro. This is the order. Ferro are strongly attracted by the external magnetic field, next para means these are moderately attracted by the external magnetic field, and antiferro means these are less attracted by the magnetic field, external magnetic field. If you want to, if you want if you want to convert antiferromagnetism, antiferro to para, antiferro nunchi manam if you want to convert to para, so here also we have to supply some temperature. That temperature is called as Curie temperature. Curie temperature. Now we have two types of temperatures. First one is the Neal's temperature, second one is the Curie temperature. What is Neal's temperature, ma? Neal's temperature means what? The temperature required to convert ferromagnetic substances into paramagnetic substance is called as Neal's. And if you want to convert antiferro substances into paramagnetic substances, రెండింటిని పారాలోకి కన్వర్ట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాం, paramagnetic substance is called as Curie temperature. Curie temperature. Okay, this is about the magnetic substances. So okay, next there is a formula to calculate the magnetic moment that are shown by the d block elements. Okay, we know that now we have, so mu L, mu means magnetic moments, L means orbital magnetic moment. Mu L means the orbital magnetic moment. The formula is GL square root of L into L plus 1. So this is the magnetic moment that are shown by the orbital motion. Next, the magnetic moment shown by the spin motion, that is GS, is gives rise to square root of S into S plus 1. So these are the individual, that means every substance will show orbital magnetic moment and spin magnetic moment. So when we combine and when we club these two, if you form, there is a resultant magnetic moment, that is J. So the resultant magnetic moments on the whole, we can give one formula, that is square root J is equal to square root of n into n plus 2. So from now onwards, to calculate the magnetic moment of any atom, any atom any atom, we will use this formula. What is that formula, ma? Square root of n into n plus 2. Here n is equal to number of unpaired electrons, okay. So if for example I am taking Fe plus 2, ferrous ion. So we know that ferrous atomic number is 26 and the atomic electronic configuration is organ 4s2 3d6, organ 4 is to 3d6. This is only for iron, that is Fe. But here he has given the Fe plus 2. Plus 2 means what? Elimination of 2 electrons. When iron loses 2 electrons, it got 2 plus 2. Okay. When loses 1 electron, the oxidation state is plus 1. If it loses 2 electron, the oxidation state is plus 2. So here plus 2 means the 2 electrons are eliminated from the 4s orbital. Then we can write Fe plus 2. So Fe plus 2 is organ 3d6 only. 3d6. 4s is 0, 3d6. 3d means what ma? It is divided into again 5d orbitals, no? So 3d6 means, so we have to fill with one single electron. So 5 electrons are completed, and the remaining next 1 electron is there, no? We have to fill in this box. So here this box is completely filled with 2 electron. But if you see here, these are the 4 orbitals with a single electron. So these 4 single electrons are called as unpaired electrons. Unpaired. Unpaired means these are not paired up. So these are called as unpaired electron here. So Fe plus 2 contain N is equal to 4. That is N is equal to 4 means Fe plus 2 ion contains 4 unpaired electrons. So we have to substitute this 4 number in the formula. So that is square root of 4 into 4 plus 2. Okay, square root of 4 into 4 to plus 2 is 6. So square root of 24. So when you no need to calculate square root of 24. If you know the value, you can put it here. But also you can memorize, or you can mug up the values. For example, if an atom contains, or if an ion contains one electron, unpaired electron, n is equal to 1. If n is equal to 1, the value is 1.73. Bohr magnetons. Bohr magnetons are the units. Bohr magnetons are the unit for the magnetic moment or magnetic susceptibility. So if n is equal to 2, there is 2.73 Bohr magnetons. There are some values that is corresponding to the number of electrons. And the number of electrons 2 ఉంటే 2.73 అని, 3 ఉంటే 3.83 అని, 4 ఉంటే 4.93 అని, కొన్ని ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్, కొన్ని నెంబర్స్ అనేవి ఈజీగా మెమరైజ్ చేయడానికి ఉంటాయి. సో ఇఫ్ యూ మగ్ అప్ దీస్ వాల్యూస్, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఈజీ to do any example. So 3 is equal to 3.7, 4 is equal to 4.93 Bohr magnetons, 5 is equal to 5.93 Bohr magnetons. In this way, up to 5, if you memorize these values, you can easily do the whatever be the exercise or example. Okay, so now, so here we have 4 electrons now, so that means we can write 4.93 Bohr magnetons. So the magnetic moment of Fe plus 2 ion is the 4.93 Bohr magnetons. In the same way, if you see the another example, CuSO4 H2 5H2O. Here he has given the example as CuSO4 5H2O. Actually, it is in the form of CuH2O5 and SO4. Actually, it is in this form. That means here 5 H2O molecules, 1 SO4 molecule. Okay. So generally here H2O oxidation state is 0 ma. The deep explanation of this topic will be in the second year and third year. So generally H2O is a water molecule. Water molecule is acting as a ligand. It is neutral ligand. Okay, it comes under neutral ligand. Neutral ligand means the oxidation state is 0. Again SO4 minus 2. So here copper may be in this copper is in the oxidation state of plus 1. Okay, copper is in the oxidation state of, so how we can write means copper, generally copper electron atomic number is 29. So argon 4s1 3d10. We know that no, copper is in 4s1 3d10. So here if it is in plus 1 oxidation state, what happened? Plus 1 means copper should lose 1 electron. Copper should lose 1 electron. Where it from the electron loses means the electron is eliminated from the 4s orbital. Okay, the electron is eliminated from the 4s orbital. So it is 4s0 and 3d10. Okay, 4s0 and 3d10. Next, so it is in the case of Cu plus 2. If Cu is plus 2 oxidation state, what happened? 2 electrons should be loses. So 1 electron from the 4s and another electron from the 3d. So 10 నుంచి 1 electron both ఎంత ఉంటాయి ఇక్కడ 3d9. 3d9 means how we have to write this ma? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. That means here one single electron is there. 4s is 0, no electrons present in the 4s orbital. And here 3d9 means 4 orbitals are paired up and one is single electron is there. Okay, one single electron is there. That means n is equal to 1. How we will do? N is equal to n into n plus 2. So n ante 1, 1 plus 2. So is it square root of 1 plus 2 means 3. So root 3 is nothing but here we can write 1 no. సో వన్ సింగిల్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ ఉంది అనుకున్నాం కదా, వన్ సింగిల్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ అంటే దానికి సంబంధించిన వాల్యూ ఏమవుతుందంటే 1.73 బోర్ మ్యాగ్నెట్. ఈ √3 ఎంతైనా అవనివ్వండి. సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు know the values there, like that one electron unte 1.73 Bohr magnet. In this way you can calculate the magnetic moments of any atoms. So the formula is square root of n into n plus 2. Okay, so next this is the experimental value and this is the practically shown by the formula. But if you want to know the experimental value, that means by performing an experiment, if you want to know the magnetic moment or magnetic susceptibilities of any atoms, there are two methods. So first one is the Gauss method and second one is the Faraday method. So these two, Faraday method, these two are the methods used for the calculation of experimental calculation of magnetic susceptibilities or magnetic moments of any ion. In these two, what are these two? The Gauss method, another one is the Faraday method. In these two, Gauss method is mostly useful and more prominent. So nowadays generally all are using Gauss method with the help of Gauss balance. So if you see there is a diagram, no, this is called as balance. We know the simple balance, no, simple balance around simple tarazu telusu kadamma, like that only. So simple balance. So in this simple balance, the left arm, if it is right arm, it is left arm, arm. So left plate is removed here. We know that, no, in the simple balance what happened, two plates are there. One plate is for the weight, another plate for the things which we are buying there. So in the same way there are two arms are there. One plate is as it is. In the second left arm, the plate is removed and this arm is elongated with the, and this arm is hanged with the one tube. Here this is called as glass tube. It is made up of pyrex glass tube, which is the height of 5 to 10 millimeter, 5 to 10 millimeters of glass here. So okay, this is the made up of pyrex glass tube. Next, the cross section area is of course about 2 millimeters. Okay, 2.0 millimeter cross sectional area, and this the height of the tube is 5 to 10 millimeters. Okay, next what we have to do means for which atom or for which ion we want to calculate the magnetic susceptibility or magnetic moment, that substance is finely powdered. Okay, understand? For which, for example, if you want to know the, or if you want to calculate the magnetic moment of manganese. Okay, if you want to calculate the magnetic moment of manganese ion, Mn plus 2 ion, so you have to finely powdered the manganese atom. Okay, that finely powdered is known as sample here. Sample means what? To which we have to calculate the magnetic moment. That sample is taken into this glass tube, and this is hanged from the second arm, that is the left arm of the balance, that is Gauss balance. Next, this glass bottom of the this glass is placed in between the two electromagnets. These two are the moisture and dirt proof. That means they do not allow any moisture from the atmosphere and they do not allow any dirt particles from the atmosphere. That's why we are calling it as moisture and dirt proof electromagnets. So in between these two electromagnetic magnets, we have to place the glass tube from the left arm. And how we have to place means that bottom side of the tube is only in between these two poles, and the top side of the upper side of the glass is in the atmosphere only. Okay, the total tube is should not be placed between the two pieces poles. Only bottom side of the bottom side of the glass tube is placed in between the. So you can observe in the diagram also, only I am placing the bottom side of the tube in between the poles, and the remaining upper side is not in the exposure of the electromagnets. So this is the setup of the Gauss balance. So now what we have to do means we have to weigh the sample without in the electromagnets. అంటే electromagnets కి పెట్టక ముందు we have to weigh అంటే దాన్ని weigh చేయాలి, దాని బరువు చూడాలి. Okay, the sample is x. So generally we have to take up to 0.1 to 1 millimeter only, 1 gram, sorry, 0.1 to 1 gram of sample we have to take. So that is the without in the magnetic field. This is the magnetic field, external magnetic field అన్నాం కదా, అది ఇది. సో దీంట్లో ముందు పెట్టక ముందు కూడా we have to weigh that the sample, and next we have to record that. For example, that is W1. So W1 is the weight of the sample which is not placed in the electromagnetic field. Next what we have to do means we have to next we have to weigh the sample after putting in the after placing in between the pieces. So ఈ పోల్స్ మధ్యలో పెట్టాక ఒకసారి weigh చేయాలి, that is W2. Okay, so W2, if the sample is diamagnetic, if the sample which we have taken is diamagnetic in nature, then that sample is repelled. Already we have discussed, you know, diamagnetic substances are repelled by the external magnetic. With the same thing happen here. So if the sample which we have taken is diamagnetic, that is repelled by the external magnetic field. If the sample is paramagnetic in nature, that is attracted by these two electromagnetic poles. So what we have to do now, we have to take the weights two times. First time is without placing in between the electromagnet, that is W1. After placing in the electromagnet, next we have to take the weight of the sample, that is W2. Obviously the weight of the sample, that is W2 is more than the W1 due to electromagnetic force of attraction. And next this is magnetic moment is denoted with the mu. Magnetic moment is denoted with the mu. Okay, here the K1 means a K1 is a volume susceptibility volume susceptibility of a compound measuring using Gauss balance, and it can be converted into chi m. This is not exma, we should call it as chi, chi. So chi m is molar susceptibility, chi m is molar susceptibility, molar susceptibility. So there is a magnetic moment of the compound mu can be calculated by applying following formula. ఒక ఫార్ములాని యూస్ చేసి we can calculate the magnetic moment. The formula is mu is equal to 3k capital T chi m by n0 m0 n0 mu 0. So here k is the Boltzmann constant. K is what? Boltzmann constant. In gaseous state, in intermediate state also, intermediate level, in gaseous state, you come across this Boltzmann constant, that is N by K. K is equal to N by R, Boltzmann constant. Capital T is the absolute temperature. Chi m means molar susceptibility. N0 is nothing but Avogadro number. N0 is what? Avogadro number, that is equal to 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 molecules. N0 value is Avogadro number antaru. Avogadro number value is what? 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 molecules. M0 means magnetic, external magnetic field. M0 means what? External magnetic field. So this is the Gauss method and very important for your semester point of view. Semester point of view. Okay, you have to learn this much. So this is about the today's topic. Okay, ఒక్క నిమిషం.